Beats by Dre, an absolute titan of a brand nowadays, worth bazillions. It's crazy to think that not that long ago they didn't exist at all. It was 2008 that we were blessed with the Beats by Dre, manufactured by Monster. Monster began back in like 1979, focusing mainly on audio cables and stuff like power surge protectors. And by 2010, HTC owned 50.1% of Beats by Dre. By 2011, things were up and up. It was like 64% of US sales for headphones above $100. That's a very lucrative market. 2014, Beats Music Streaming was launched. And then same year, they became an Apple stooge. 3 billion bazingos. Largest purchase in Apple history at the time. Dre was the first hip-hop billionaire. Beats Music died and Apple Music launched 2015, coincidentally somehow. Heaps of money in the air. Drama has to follow. 2015, Monster sued due to HTC buying shares, and then it was sold back to get all the Monster shit, among other stuff. It was messy. And now Beats is just one of Apple's stooge arms to sell things that isn't technically Apple, but you know, they make all the money from it. But the things I'm going to be showing you today, mate, we're going back. We're going back. Not the original Beats by Dre, the pro ones, the expensive ones. And you know it's expensive when they put it on a bag this nice. This fake leather is not as nice as the stuff that would put in 1970s Mitsubishis, and they're used, so it smells like someone's hair gel, which isn't terrible, but I know there's hair grease in there too. It's the Beats Pro. The bag feels like garbage, and it doesn't even have a decent lining, but this part on the end is aluminium. That they put all the money into. Old-fashioned brands, you know where to put your resources. But yeah, sus the Monster badge. That's how you know she's old. And slightly more interesting than the bag is the headphones themselves. In 2010, these were $450. You could have an overpriced Nintendo Switch 2 for that. And no games. In Beats fashion, they were way too expensive for what they actually did. That's just the hallmark of the Beats thing. People say nowadays it's better and they're good and whatnot. Bootleg garbage sounds good. Audio's pretty figured out. But apparently back in the day, people were finding these for like $100 pretty quick. And so yeah, Beats tend to be on the fun sound of things. You know, when it comes to equipment that we enjoy content through, there's professional versions of everything. It's, you've got a TV at home. You wouldn't want to make content on that because the colors are all over the place. I mean, you saw last time with the bootleg iPhone screen, like, whoa. And the same is true with headphones. I have headphones that I do work out of, and I have headphones that I have fun out of. You know, like the Headphone 600s, mate. These are trying to be flat. In other words, no extra top end, no extra bass. These tend to have less space, but fun headphones, mate, they give you the extra bass. They give you the extra top end. That's why it's called the V sound, right? You know, if this is flat, extra bass, extra top end. And people like it. It's like having extra fat and sugar in food. Humans like it, even if it's not good for you. But yeah, fun headphones are kind of like a Transformers movie, you know? Storyline's pretty thin. It is what it is, but it just looks stunning. Whereas this is like a David Attenborough documentary. You kind of have to sit down and appreciate it. But that said, like a lot of reference headphones are like wilting feathers. I mean, this isn't too bad. Like these are built good. This is metal! Look at that! Solid chunks of metal! Oh, I got my weighing scale, because now I'm really curious actually how much heavier these things are. Headphone 600. Oh, 287. Now the Beats by Dre. Yeah, that's quite a bit extra. And while we're at it, coily cables, just stop it. Every company stop it. The idea of it's meant to be, it's a long cable that's made short. So if you need it long, you just pull on it. But what it does is pile it all up in the one spot, so you just got a heavy lump. Look, like Beats trying to be clever, only adding a small section, like to the coily bit. That is slightly better because less of it's coiled. So just don't coil cables, don't do it. And actually, look at this. You can pivot them because, you know, this is like meant for DJs and things. And DJs love flipping up their headphones so they can listen to the live club mix or something instead of having piped in. Like, DJs, tell me, why do you have one headphone off? Like, why can't you pipe it in on, man? And something very interesting. Look, it's got two inputs, but you only use one of them. So it's what side do you want the headphone cable to come out? Like, you get to pick. That's great. And then up the other end, they give you the big dingus to little dingus adapter. Oh, wow, all the gold's gone off it. Okay, they weren't doing much big, heavy work. That adapter is brand new, the gold plating. Yeah, okay. Ear cups aren't very deep. I don't like that. I hate it when my ear touches the other side of the ear cup. And I'm here to tell you that they squeeze my head something awful. I've got a gigantic head. I just have to live with that. And it doesn't help that I'm not very tall. And this is... But what if they sound majestical? Let's have a listen. Left ear cup's getting a little bit tired, I think, because I do make sure I try and get them adjusted on the ears to make sure they record properly. But, you know, they are like 15 years old, which makes me sad, actually. Yeah, lots of tops. That V sound, mate, that's what people want. But they do get a bit mushy to me. You know, you lose detail when you're chasing extra bass. You know, mezzanine appearance, they cost so much money, but they're magical because those huge drivers and the way that they're traced with the planar magnetics, you get big fat loads of bass and the top end. It all comes through clear. Like, that's where all the advancements come in, that you almost have your cake and eat it too. You know, with club music, you know, then they start sounding better. You know, there are types of music that work better with certain sound profiles. I love crazy dance music, and it doesn't sound right unless you've got like a year 2000 subwoofer being cranked a bit. And look, I will say these are crazy durable. In clubs, people are ripping them off your head. You know, I've done that kind of work before. Only I was a live musician with a DJ, and yeah, it gets messy. And so being able to have these just plonk down on a table and whatnot, yeah. And, you know, when you crank these, they kind of do mimic the sound of a cheap nightclub. But if you want that silly, crazy bass thing, Skull Candy Crushers all day. Boom, they smash these to death. Seriously, if you want the crazy bass, get the Crushers. You'll love them. I love them. Oh, mate, a quick shout out on dingusland.fun. Lots of things to do here. Oh, head into the headphone cave. What do you find in there? Oh, it's the Monster Beats by Dre Pro. Look, you can listen to the monsters against the original song, right? But, you know, keep in mind that is the original song that hasn't been, like, played through headphones and then collected by a, like, freakish set of ears. So keep that in mind. But there you go. I know that's something that people have always wanted. And make sure you say hello to Frank on the way out. Hey, Frankie. These are going to go back in their bag. Credit to them for folding up. You know, can't deny. They don't sound amazing, but that goes in a backpack, no worries. Oh, that's, yeah, the metal on that. Oh, so glad they bothered with that. But seriously, I gave away all my other, like, Beats by Dre headphones, and I'm sick of Bluetooth. I'm not getting any more beats. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, huge thanks to these stinky names right here. But hey, $1 a month. I do extra videos on memberships, mate. $1. They're sitting there. You don't have to leave the platform. Hop in. There's stuff there. I'm eating snacks and Frank wears hats. Although Floatplane's the ultimate. That's where all my content is. I've been watching Gucky. I do Casa. All my features from all my channels all pile up in there. And you know what, mate? I'll see you all next time.
Look at this near perfect coil that Frankie got. She puts herself at the center of it because she's the center of everything.